What's up, YouTube? This is your girl, Miss Swaggy, and this is the Ashley Show. This is the Ashley Show. So, hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning to my channel, welcome. This video today will be about... That's my drum roll. Okay. It's gonna be about forgiveness. To start it off, I know it's easier said than done. Sometimes you have to forgive people who are just never sorry. That's strongly important. I'm only saying this because I've been there, done that. And if I can avoid been there, done that, I'm gonna do it. So this is to anybody who has problem forgiving, who's in the process of forgiving, closure, something that you should move forward with. This is my advice to you. Yelling, bitter, misery, all comes hand in hand when you don't forgive. And something's gotta give, and you've just been asking God, like, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? And you have to really understand where it's coming from. Like, everything that you put into life is gonna come back to you. It's just like karma. It's easy to yell. It's easy to shout. But what is it doing for you if you're still unhappy? It's for you to move forward. It's for you to feel more positive. I don't want to talk about spiritual talk, but honestly it's going to bring me there because I'm a very spiritual person. I feel like a lot of these worldly things that don't matter come from here. What you overthink. What you think is an issue and it's not really an issue because you don't talk about the issue, so how can anybody know that you have an issue? Sometimes when you hold things in, sometimes if you don't feel like you have enough closure, I feel like that's all a mental thing. But the forgiveness comes in the spirit. I feel like when you actually talk about these things, when you actually forgive somebody, you move forward. You feel more positive. You are more happy. I just feel like misery do loves company, because when people are miserable, they like to surround themselves around people to try to distract their minds. And forgiving people it's a strong thing to do. When I talk to people, I can tell when somebody's been hurt by the way that they speak to me. If they're very angry, if they are very hostile, if they like to talk about other people, I already assume that something happened to them in their life where they just feel the need to talk about it, whether that be you're insecure, or whether that be that you're still mad at your ex-boyfriend, whether that be that you're mad at what your father did to you many years ago. And granted, those are all things that can be issues in your life. Granted, I'm not saying you're wrong for that, but at the same time, what is it doing for you by holding it in? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is it doing for you besides, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to give that energy off to your children? Do you want to give that energy off to anybody who speaks to you? Because that's easily done. You will come off to that for some person eventually. And they're going to be your mirror. And you're going to be like, oh, they you can't be like, oh, they feel some type of way. They're wrong. They're this, they're that. Prime example. When somebody tells you the truth, a lot of people don't handle it correctly because the truth hurts. The truth hurts. But people don't know what's the difference between the truth and they kind of like put it together with hate. I don't know, like, you know, like, oh no, that person hating on me, or no, that person this, that, and that. That's very weak-minded. You have to give people a chance. This is me talking from what I used to be, okay? This is a personal testimony to you right now. I used to be the person, if I don't like you, cut you off. If I don't this, cut you off. You didn't look at me right, cut you off. For any reason, I would cut you off and think that that would be okay. Till I started actually acknowledging that that's not the right thing to do. I was in a place in the past where I used to be very angry. I used to be so enraged because I felt like I didn't have a voice. I felt like at times I used to bring everybody in. Like, I used to be the fun, bubbly person, but I used to bottle in my emotions, my sadness, my anger, like all the negative things. I used to feel like it was okay to just hold it in because I feel like I don't want to put pressure on people and you know, be negative in the mood or anything like that. But I also had some frustrations that I wasn't able to get out. And sometimes I would bring it out on the wrong people. All the time. I've always been an observant person. And I've always been good with reading people's energies and people's vibes. I used to have a guard up. I used to always have a guard up and felt like I didn't want to let anybody in too much where they were allowed to hurt me, or I would feel anger, or I would feel sadness. So I used to wear the mask of happiness. At times I could hide it really good because I would like try to have all these friends around, and having too many friends around, well, in my case, I brought too many people because I thought they were cool, because I thought they were nice, because, oh yeah, we had a couple of things in common, but I was more worried about the quantity rather than the quality. And that's something that I grew to understand because I had a lot of people that were around me that weren't for me. And I don't know any way easier to say it, but sometimes easier said. I'll put it this way. When people show you their true colors, believe them. It has nothing to do with you. And I mean when you genuinely know that it's not true. When you feel like you've did all that you could, and you even express how you felt about you, but it gets to a point where it's only being one-sided, it's time to let it go. And it's okay to let go, because elevation requires separation, not isolation, because I've seen that around. Isolation is when you go crazy and you start overthinking and it kills your happiness. And I'm gonna be real with you, I've been in a place of deep isolation at a point, and I felt like at times I didn't really have those people who genuinely cared because they were too busy trying to envy or have what I have, or get happy over the little things that really don't even matter to me that they think matter to me, like clothes and outfits and trips, and none of those things matter to me. Honestly, what matters to me is happiness. What matters to me is making other people happy. What matters to me is honestly having a pure heart. And a lot of people don't understand that. And sometimes some of those people will go behind your back and be friends with your enemy. Or go behind your back and talk about you when you're not talking to them. Or go behind your back and use you and call you their friend, or call you their family, or call you their girlfriend, or call you their best friend. Like, it can go in any variation. You will have people who will come into your life only for a season, and you have to forgive them for what they have done to you. And that's okay, because that's going to build your character. Forgiveness is stronger than you think. To me, personally, and I feel like generally, someone who yells, someone who's bitter, someone who's miserable, someone who's always unhappy and trying to find something wrong with the next person instead of realizing what they have done wrong, that's very weak. That is very weak to me. Gossiping is weak. Till this day, honest to you, I have not spoken badly about anybody I have stopped speaking to. Because so strongly I believe in forgiveness. And even though I may not be speaking to people on a daily, or have spoken to them in a while, or spoken to them in years, I still will show my gratitude towards those people in passing. Because you're probably already cut off, sorry. But let's be real. It will be no beef. Because some people are bringing characteristics out of you that maybe you need to fix. Or put a mirror on something that you didn't even realize that you were doing. Or to make you strong as a person so you can grow. You will still have those people who do encourage you. Who will stick around. Who never question your loyalty. And those people are the people that God put in your life. Are the people that are fruit to your spirit. Are the people that are never going to bash you about anything that you do. If not, they tell you the truth about it. But they will not bash you. There's a difference. When people jokingly talk about your troubles, those people feel a way towards you. And when their true colors come out, believe them. Because every little joke, every little success that you get, like, oh, you got your little car. Oh, you got your little trip. Oh, you got your little outfit on. It's all hate, honey. It's all hate. And let me tell you one thing. Those haters want your life. Okay? They want your life. Or they're just mad because they can't do it. And that's okay. But when people prove themselves to you, please believe them. Forgive them. Because at the same time, it's not worth it. Negativity is not worth it. You being angry is not worth it. They'll go to sleep fine. And you'll go to sleep angry. Why? What is that going to do for you? Let me tell you something. You block your blessings by being angry. You block your blessings by not forgiving. You block your blessings. And then you wonder, dang, why am I always struggling? Why am I always broke? Why am I always... Granted, you're going to go through things in life. Granted. But when you feel those things a little bit too constant, sometimes you need to start looking at what you're putting into the world. What you're saying to people. Because I've been there. And I've been that person to be negative. I've been that person that got karma. I think if you haven't had karma, you're gonna. You're gonna. Because, listen to me. Nothing comes out good when you talk about people. When you be friends with people's enemies. When you betray somebody. Listen, don't be out here being the Judas. Just saying. I ain't trying to get all spiritual on y'all, but for real. Be real. You will have those in your life. But you have to learn to forgive them. You know why? Because it builds character. It builds character. Because where you're destined for in life, you gotta have a clear head. You gotta live. You can't live your dream being bitter. I'll tell you that. Because you know why? More negativity is gonna come. More negativity, and more negativity. And you'll drive yourself crazy. And you can never be alone because you'll always be thinking. You'll always be thinking. Your head will be like this. Forgiveness is a spiritual thing. It's in your spirit. Because happiness comes from within. It don't come from here. Here will drive you crazy. If you pay attention to your thoughts, you'll drive yourself crazy. If they're not positive, you'll drive yourself crazy. You know what I'm saying? It comes from your heart, man. It comes from your inner being. Forgive people who are just never sorry. Even if they never said sorry. Even if you told your piece and they still didn't understand. Still forgive yourself for that. Because guess what? I've been in situations where years later, months later, days later, those same people, God will bring back into your life for a moment. And you'll get that closure. And they'll be apologizing to you. I promise you. Forgive. That's my advice to you. Ash TV, Miss Swaggy TV.